All right, guys, welcome to Sunday Prep. As you guys know, I like to go over our nice little market every Sunday to see if we can find, uh, pretty much any good strategy that we can lean towards that will help us get a better edge, on the market pretty much, and then give us a nice little leeway of how we can kind of jump on it and attack it. So that being said, let's dive in, man. As we can see, I know a lot of us thought maybe this weekend things were gonna come down, but shit, man, another nice little pump yesterday. Uh, Today, it's kind of having a bit of a rejection, right? Yeah, we already had two 4 hour candles. I mean, we still have another 2 hours, but a bit of a rejection today, which is fine, right? I mean, again, we're still climbing, right? Like still climbing, and I just like I go over every Sunday, guys, right? We keep making these levels, as soon as we rise, instead of us doing the norm, which is what everybody, kind of expects, this is why everybody keeps getting, killed in these shorts, man, because they're expecting it to come down, right? Like back to 16, 17, 18s where everyone is kind of, they're used to seeing it there, right? So hold on, let me make sure I am recording. Okay, yeah, so so they're used to seeing it, that drop come down, and it's not doing that, right? Like we keep making higher highs every time, right? And not completely higher highs as far as we know Bitcoin obviously has a high around 67, but at least for the week, man, I want to say, because it's been a while since we've seen these levels. It's been a while, and I mean long time since we've seen Bitcoin do this, right? Where it's just running up, finding new levels, right? People, we all thought this was a nice little double top where we were gonna come down last week, and it did, right? Like it did kind of spike down to the 20s all the way from 21,600. However, the next few days, the next few hours, it just pumped out of control, right? Broke that supply zone, created a new demand zone where we're at now, right? Like the lowest right now we're only seeing is about 22. But look, we keep just climbing and climbing and making newer highs, which is why I keep joking in the chats that we're gonna see 24. If this continues, again, this is why I never tell you guys. You will never hear me say, "Hey guys, we're gonna see 25K by tomorrow." Any days, nobody knows that shit, man, right? Like nobody knows. But if we continue this little pattern that we're seeing, where we're running up, consolidating, boom, running up to a new high, consolidating, and not coming down, then yeah, you can definitely expect to see 25, 24, 25 very soon, right? Like I think we almost hit 24 on this point right here, which is super close. So there was that 24, right? What's next? 25? 25 isn't that far away. But I do have this, right? Like, and I think, oh, I didn't put my alert. Let me make sure I set my alert on this. This is something, and again, this is something that I will be looking to short when we get to these levels. I want to say anywhere, in our supply zone, right? We created this last supply zone. Not only can you see it on a daily, but you can see it clearly on the 4 hour. That's our last real resistance, right? Like this whole time that since we came down to the lowest, in fucking June, right? Like we came all the way down to almost 17, 1600. Since that drop, man, it continued to go to shit, right? We even went as low as obviously 15. But this is the highest point I want to say for us to be able to climb back to the 30s, right? Which is where it was always normally considered a nice low for it to grab, so something could just boost up the way Bitcoin used to do. And I think be considered a bull market, man. Like we're making runs, guys. Like I know people don't like to hear it because everybody really wants to be, you know, um, a bear and want the market to come down because that's what they used to, guys. But if this shit continues, man, we're easily on a nice little path that can definitely lead to a nice bull market. I mean, again, this is why this is, I think, the last supply zone I have before we break. If we break that, right, 25K, then shit, easily look at 30K for us to go back up there, right? And then obviously we would have to still climb a while, long way to go, man, for us to really be making new highs. But if we did it before, right, like we climbed for a long time. This didn't happen overnight, right? Bitcoin didn't make new highs overnight. It took it a while to get there, right? But I mean, look at the path, right? It just showed growth, right? Consolidation, run up, a little profit taking, still never really broke lows, right? Ran up, okay? Consolidation, right? Made a even a low there that broke that support, but came right back. Those are, the little moves that Bitcoin does, right? To liquidate those shorts or liquidate longs, and then it continues, hits your stop loss and it continues running up and does what it does. And it just showed that pattern over and over. So it's almost looking like that right now. Only I think we were getting stronger runs, man, like real big, runs of 2 or 3 days, which, makes a huge difference, right? Like, but again, we're still doing really well, man. Like we're doing really, really well. I'm glad, right? Like I don't like the market to be down here in the fucking 16s or seeing 12K like some people saying. Is it a possibility? Of course, man. We can possibly even reject here for all we know and come down, and really go down, right? To shit. Again, you just never know with this market, which is why I always tell you guys that I am, a believer of anything is possible, right? You never know with this thing. Like anything could happen. You can see 12K tomorrow, you can see 100K by next week. You just never know. But I do like to play these things for the day, and whenever you're able to spot certain levels, man, you're able to just see that reaction. You'll see it, when the days come by. Even I'm guarantee you, man, whether we break through this or not and go up to 25, 28, 30, I can almost guarantee that we'll see some kind of fucking pullback here. Only because, there's pressure here, right? Like again, this is kind of like that last real hump for us to really break over before we really start seeing what Bitcoin and the rest of this market can do, right? Like we did it before, Look at this shit, man. Like we can easily come back to these 30s and start climbing from there and aim for newer highs. But again, shorts, right? Like just because we're in a bull market doesn't mean you can't capitalize on shorts, especially if you do it in a lower time frame. I want to say obviously the dailies aren't really kicking in right now, right? Because even if you're doing a daily, you're really doing like about five. I want to say maybe 5, 10x. Not getting much. You're not getting much bang for your buck. But if you are following trend and you're trading on the daily, then you're obviously profiting right now because everything is just it's running up beautifully, man. And I'm not complaining, man. I love this, bro. I love to see a good, strong market. I love to see, people coming back in. I love to get these texts and DMs from people that used to love crypto, before, again, a year ago, right? That used to always talk to me about crypto, and how fascinating it was. And, they were all hyped up on it. And then, when the market went down, they all, they all hit, right? Like they all went in their closets or started looking at other things, but they're coming back out because they're seeing this. They're seeing growth again. They're starting to see things. They're like, holy shit, Kenny, I should have bought Matic and all this other things back then, a few weeks ago because look how, like they're seeing the growth, man. So the more, right, like the more people starting to see this and really see that this is a potential, that Bitcoin at that point was a strong potential buy, then you're gonna start seeing more and more people buy, right? Like every time we get to these points where they're breaking, it's just more people buying, man. Like we're, people are really into this shit right now. They're getting into it. They're seeing that was that really, strong lows, and they're really pushing up the price, man. And as long as we continue to do that, expect to see these these resistance being cut like a knife through butter, just like it's been doing. Which is why, again, man, if you're gonna play shorts, like just make sure, and that it goes either way, right? Like if you're gonna play long either too, right? You just still want to make sure you have your stop losses, but make sure you got those stop losses, man, because this market is just doing crazy pump and dumps, and it's just getting more volatile as we're going up. Right, like you look at the runs, right? The runs are just insane when everybody's shorting. I had to think a short that was able to get profits, but if it wasn't for stop loss at entry, oh, it was on ETC. Watch this, right? Let me see if I have it on this chart. Big bam, right? Yeah, hell yeah. You see, luckily I was able to grab profits when I did, man, because look at this shit. It would have hit stop loss. It would have, if I would have been a hero and tried to hold it past stop loss, right? Like it rocketed up to here, bro. But when I got in, what was it? This is a 4 hours. I think I got in around here. It was a trend break, right? At that point, it was a trend break on a smaller time frame. Got in here, took my profits, right? Hit TP number 2. Happy with that for a weekend. But literally, as soon as, and I was here for this day, right? I saw this candle. I was like, holy shit. Once I took that TP, put stop loss at entry, this is why I do these things, man. Like, they save my ass, right? Like, it's either you take what the market can give you, which at that point, it even gave us TP2. Sometimes it's only TP number 1, and then it does this. So this is why you guys gotta get in the habit of always taking profits, because you don't want to get caught in a mess like this, man. If I would have held this, I would have been kicking myself in the ass right now, like, dude, what the fuck, So, and this market is just doing things that it's it's still in the opposite, man. Everything that I saw, like, when the market came down, I've never seen a market come down as much. It was showing me things that I've never seen, right? Like, I know a lot of you guys that just started trading are only seeing the market come down. Now you're seeing things that you've never seen, right? When a market can really just fucking boom, man. And it's, again, it's not a bad it's not a bad thing. It's just, you got to change it up. If you're only used to playing shorts, then be more open minded, and that's what I teach. In my one-on-ones, I try to get you guys to be a little more open-minded to not only being just long, long, longs or shorts, 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 right? Like, to really being comfortable playing both side of the field, right? Because once you can adapt to playing your longs and your shorts and feel comfortable throwing either one, then it makes trading so much easier. And I tell you guys this shit, like, with experience, with everything I love, man. Like, as soon as I was able to get comfortable throwing shorts, it made my trading that much easier, bro. Like, I was a full-time longing fucking bull, right? Because, again, I was born in the bull market, right? I was there when the bull market came, so all I knew was longs, longs, longs. Whenever it came to those red days, I wouldn't even trade. I was like, nope, not for me. Like, I would hide away, and instead of trading and trying, you know what I mean, and I was losing out, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, what the fuck happens if we go into a bear market where we just had, right, and a whole year of it. I'm gonna just sit on the sideline? No, right? I gotta learn how to play short. So, this is why I tell you guys, if you're able to adapt both and really get comfortable with playing both, because everybody starts off that way, right? Like, I think we all start off just really leaning more towards one side, and then when you flip over to the other side, at the beginning it's rough, man. You get stop loss after stop loss, but then you start to get it, man. And then once you can just flip back and forth, not really care what's happening, right? Like, if something is at resistance and you feel like it's a strong resistance point to short, then you'll feel comfortable putting out the trade, and you'll see that more than often, man. There's, they really do perform, right? Like, even in this last 4 hour candle, right? Where do you see resistance? All of this right here, and where did it reject? On this one candle right now, right? Like, look, boom, rejected right here in this resistance that we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections up here, right? So that's all you got to do, man. You really got to just spot these things out, really look for them for what they are, and it'll make your trading so much easier once you're able to short, play comfortable with your shorts, get comfortable with your longs, and either vice versa, man. So yeah, man. So as you can see, with ETC we got in, right? What was it? Trend break right here. Entry was right here. Played out, right? TP number 2, stop loss at entry. And again, thank goodness it did, because it even broke supply zone. And look, after what I always tell you guys every Sunday or every time we do these classes, you break through supply or demand zones like they run, dude. The shit ran. If you broke a nice long from here, you ate, right? It went all the way to the real major supply zone, which is up here. So now this one turns into a demand. I mean, it kind of really invalidates, but if it comes back down, what you kind of did there, builds a little, it will turn into a demand. So that's yeah, man, that one played out. But again, like I said, even in the bull market, you can catch shorts, right? Look, you can play shorts, bro. Like, they're there, and you can really print, right? I think everybody's still, been hitting shorts left and right? Like, you can still catch them, but right? I mean, if you're following the market and you're long in any of these things, man, these things are just, they're making newer highs like almost every other day. So that's what we'll look at right now in Bitcoin. I want to see how we can attack it this week, right? I was just doing some TA. Excuse me. I was doing some TA before you guys joined, just looking at what levels, right? Like, what levels we can attack if it does decide it wants to come back down. And I feel like every Sunday we're always here, right? We're always like almost smack dab in the middle, where we have our resistance, right, which is again almost at 25K. But we have a strong support also at about 22, right? So it's one of those things where, right, like, if it was down here, I wouldn't mind playing the long. I wouldn't mind us grabbing some longs for the week, to anticipate this move with a nice little stop loss right under here. In case the market wanted to come back down, right? Right now we have space, man. We have space to run up to 25, right? I think we have a little bit of resistance right here where it kind of rejected once already. Right there at about 23,865. We have resistance at about 24,2. So, definitely look for those two levels this week. I want to say if it does continue running up, if we do decide it wants to come back down, I mean, let's play with what we have, which is right here. And then I think I have a small demand zone from our chart, right? Let me see. Oh no, I already broke that one. So this is invalidated. But this one is still running strong. This is why I put a strong support line on this one. Um, right? Like even in your smaller time frame, you can see, man, that we can move. We can still come down, all the way back down to 22, and maybe that could happen in a day or two. Who knows, right? Like with Bitcoin, that shit can happen in a day for all we know. But I think as long as we continue just to hold the strong support, strong demand that we have for the week, I say we still, continue to be a little bullish. I want to say just real cautious because again, we're just extended right now, right? Like we're still in the middle. Let me see if we have some support here. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I had this line right here, and it broke it with the wick, but look where the body is, right? Like the body's still holding above it, right? So again, if it starts doing like nice little bit of this consolidation, then again we can probably look for some longs by tonight. I will be looking at some charts later on to see if we can get on something. Maybe swing it for tomorrow morning. Kind of get a little step, but again, right? Just keep this in mind, man. That everything is smack dab in the middle, and it's really kind of hard to trade that. We did have a new higher high on this, period of time that we were in, which is good, but again, it just invalidates any demand zone or supply zone we had there because so now we kind of have just a small new one forming. I want to say here like this, all right, where it hit there, okay. And then we'll let it build, right? As long as it continues to go sideways, maybe it'll start to give us a nice little demand zone that we can maybe play it off of, a little mini one like this if it continues to build that. And just look for the, next big move, right? A next big move, to the downside. And I think that would lead to a nice little red week, maybe a nice little break of trend right there, right? Because we're still having higher highs. We can still bounce here, and that would be like a double whammy right there. Where if and look, it's almost doing it, right? I mean, it hit there, bounced up, so it's kind of still following trend, right? Double whammy, like I said, would be a bounce off of the demand and a bounce off of that trend, which I think would lead to a nice little bullish activity. Um, but again, if we are gonna probably look for some shorts, I'm gonna put an alert on this one too, right here, just in case. Get a nice little crossing down, possible short. Shorts. Right? If we get a nice little trend break, we look for some shorts for the day or for tomorrow, whenever that, if that happens. If not, like I said, man, look for this to be pretty bullish. If we can continue to grow from here, get newer highs, and that'll just itself give us another higher low. Which, fuck, man, I'm in the middle of classes. Hold on. All right, sorry. Again, look for new higher high. If we can break the supply zone, we break from above, then again, man, we're looking at shit, nice little run to the 25s. I want to hope. I'm also, like I said, I got my alert set for this. If we do get a nice little shorts, that's where I'm looking to short really strong, like a good I want to say maybe not even 100x to be on the safe side because a nice little break from this can also just on purpose, which is what the market does, right? Like it'll even give us higher highs than this just to liquidate those fucking those shorts, right? It'll give us a nice spike, but then it'll start to kind of perform. So kind of want to avoid that if it does get to this level, but this is what I'm looking for, man. If we can somehow or another get here this week or whenever we do, I'm gonna look for short there. If we can break this little, small little supply zone that we do have here, then I will be looking for some breakout trades because I think a lot of these are pretty extended, man. Like, look, everything is kind of pretty extended, but they're also at a lot of resistance points, right? Like, look, man, these things are extended as hell. Let me see. I think we can even put a nice little trend line on this one as well, right? Higher lows, boom, hits right there. Corner, bam, bam, more than enough right there. So maybe even this could be a nice little short if we get a nice trend breakdown. I'm gonna put this one as well, crossing down, possible short. Right? Like a lot of these things are getting to real nice, strong demand. I mean, supply zones where shit, man. If they break, right? They break, they run. More green market for us. But if they don't, I mean, shit, right? Like everything has been running for a while, and what goes up must come down eventually. I mean, shit. This would be, I think, the next demand zone on this. Hold on, CRV. Okay. And I got my alert on this already. Yep. All right. So that's something I'll be looking at as well. Again, there's a lot of good trades, and like I said, even though we're in a bull market, look, everything just switched over red, which means I think we just started a new daily, right? If I'm not mistaken, not too long ago, and everything's kind of red. So yeah, maybe we might get some nice little shorts coming up, guys. I mean, no, I just want to see Bitcoin, dude. If Bitcoin decides it really wants to come down, it did come down in the last 4 hours. It's just having a good reaction though to right here, which really doesn't show strong signs of it coming down. But we do have a nice crossing up here, which I do like for the MACD. That's interesting. So yeah, I'll be looking at a few shorts for the next few hours, man. If these things break trend, bet your ass I'll be calling a short real soon on some of these. However, look, man, they're still looking good. It's already starting to build. You see, 5 minute, bam, yeah. Shit, yeah, man. Dude, this market's tough. Look, it's showing red. I'm sure a lot of these signs, we now start looking at our indicators. They're like oversold. Uh, excuse me, overbought, I want to say. It's just shit, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to trade, man. I was looking at my numbers this week. And thank God I'm still like 70% for the month, which is crazy because again, I know this month has been crazy on a lot of people. I didn't get to put out what I normally put out, which is like almost like 40 trades a month. I think I put out like 27 or something like that, and I was still able to get over 70%, which I'm fucking grateful for because this market has been rough, man. I've been seeing guys get stopped out left and right, and it's a tough market to figure out, man. It really is. I'm not gonna lie. Like this month has really been crazy. But we're still keeping our head above waters, and we'll continue to keep looking. See if we can find new trends and figure this market out, right? Because again, we gotta adapt to whatever this market is throwing at us, and if long is the way to go, and that's the new, shorts, right? Then that's what we gotta do, and we gotta figure out. Just pull out all our guns, pull out all our bullish, tactics and things like that, and I will show you guys right where you guys want to look in case you want to look for bullish indicators or bullish candlestick patterns. That's what I tend to do, man. Whenever I see the markets like really pushing like that, then I pull out all my bullish patterns, man, and I try to memorize it as much as I can. Look at it, every other day to see if I can find those cup and handles, those bullish channels like double bottoms, right? Like those are all your bullish top patterns, man, that they perform. They really tend to perform a lot in this market. Let me see. Other than that, let's look at Spy. Spy was acting beautiful last week, right? We finally got our fucking trend break on Spy. The question is, right? Do we reject off of the supply zone? Which, if you look at, dude, I was looking at this Friday at 1 o'clock, which is my time for the market to close. So I was looking at it like half an hour before, right? And I was looking at it when the candle was fully up to here. I was like, holy shit, dude, like it was looking good. But I kept saying, I was like, damn, if we might see a nice little pullback, right? Like, look, we saw a pullback twice here. It came up, right? Rejected once, came up to here, opened wherever it decided to open. I think it opened around here. No, here. Oh, it opened here, ran up to here, right? Even came down to here, and then ended up closing there, right? We have a nice resistance there. And I think that 410, 412 has always been a strong resistance on SPY. So look for that this week, right? Like we're here, next day, tomorrow, or Monday in a few hours, right? For some people, watch that shit really to see where we kind of open up this Monday. Either we get red and reject from here and maybe see another day or two of rejection, right? Or we really bust through this bad boy, man. And look, this is why I have this alert right here that even if we kind of do bust above, I want to even put it close. I'm going to put it there. That if we do bust above the supply zone, I'm looking for the stocks, for your stocks, your indices, your futures to be super green. I'm looking for Bitcoin, right? I'm looking for Bitcoin to really hit that 25, 26, 20K level. Like if I told you guys how much these two charts, man, they really do follow each other a lot. even though they don't look like it. But if you really kind of like just put certain patterns, man, like I think when we had this rejection, Bitcoin also had a rejection that day too, right? Coincidence? I think not. I don't know, but it's just a lot of things like that, right? Like think what was it when we had this one, and this is why I like to do these every Sunday, right? So we could just go back and see how crazy these charts are. But we had this, we were looking at this, and we had the rejection off of this trend line, and that was when Bitcoin had its, where was it? It was the double top. Here we go. It was this, right? Like when Bitcoin was doing, SPY was doing that, we had Bitcoin here. We kept saying, well, SPY rejects, because it's on that trendline resistance, we might see a nice rejection from Bitcoin. And because we were at a super strong supply zone, which almost led to a double top, right? And it did. It gave you nice results if you kind of played that right. Anytime, anywhere up here, shit, if you played it, gave you great results. And on a 4 hour candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 20 hours of it coming down. So it played beautifully. But like I said, and if the market is running, it's gonna just bust right through. And when it did, look at the candle that it gave you, right? So the same I'm looking for our resistance, our possible short entry here. Yes, it's the last real like, strong hump for us to break, even on the daily, right? And that's okay if we break it, right? I'm still looking for a short that can possibly play out. That I think, a nice little pullback on something that either two things I'm looking at for this real short. And this is why I really want this thing to play out. Is either one a pullback like we just saw on that double top, right, where it gave us a nice little pullback, even though it was at a nice resistance, but the bullish market is obviously going to prevail, right, and continue running. But I want that, right? Like I still want to make sure that I really put some good investment in this nice little short for a nice pullback on whatever the market decides it wants to give. We'll take it, and if we continue to break, then shit, man, then we'll possibly look for obviously a breakout from the top. But I'm gonna be looking at this, and I'm really gonna look at this to see if we kind of break out from here. If we don't, then right, we're extended as it is. We still have this low demand zone at 22, so we can easily see Bitcoin come down 1,000 points, right, and still rest comfortably and still be considered in a bull trend because it's still making new fucking demand zones every time it runs up like this. So you know yeah, guys, we can still get some nice pullback today, this week, you know. But as long as we hold this, I am still super bullish in this market. Um, fuck, man, like we're just running great. I'll be looking at SPY as well this week to see if we kind of break this zone. If not, then play back and forth with each other. If we have a nice red day tomorrow on SPY, look for Bitcoin or some shorts for some alts, and like we were just going through some of these, right? Like a lot of them are at that kind of resistance point already, where they're all almost getting to the points where they can all reject. So, and they've all been running like fucking crazy, man. I mean, you know. So don't be surprised if we start seeing some rejections on some of these. Looking at DYDX, this is another one. Damn, break this. See, double whammy for this one right here would be this, a nice little break from here, demand and the trend break right here. So we put an alert crossing down. Once it breaks, 30 minutes. Yeah, see, nice little double whammy right here. Break that, break that. I'm shorting this for possible entry around that break. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. As far as that, if you guys have any questions or any charts you want me to go over, please let me know. If not, I think we'll dive over to the Forex for a bit and see what possible trades we can hit up this week on the Forex side. I've been finally having better luck last week on the Forex side because shit, man, I think I started off the year hitting Forex. I think the first three I missed, man. I fucking got three straight losses the first few weeks, but then the last two I hit, so I'm like what 3 for 5. So I definitely want to fix those numbers, obviously, and get my feet wet with Forex, right? Really started to see because again, it's different, right? Like they don't play out the same, and I think a lot of two trades that I threw out, ones that I really felt they were gonna play out were ones like this, where we were at a strong demand zone. Me and Brian were talking about how weird Forex is, that it kind of sometimes doesn't respect it and sometimes it does, man. It's fucking weird. But both trades were just like, they were in strong demand zones, you know, In crypto, like shit, I want to say a lot of the time that I find entries like this in crypto, they really do play out beautifully. But both times, man, it just broke straight through the man zones and was like down here, man. You know that if it wasn't for stop loss, would have taken a real nasty loss on it. So just trying to find what kind of what kind of trend does it what best way to hit it? Is it through best way through the indicators, or is it best to do more price action on it? Really kind of find these patterns, trends, and when you get breaks like that, those I've seen that are super effective. I haven't called one out yet, right? Or was the last one that I called out? No, that was that one. No, they were these were both also demand zones. But I'm gonna try to aim more for the trend breaks. I feel like when it comes to forex, trend break is where to go. Support and resistance, I feel like really doesn't really click well with it, man. Because I've seen it bust through supports, I've seen it bust through resistance like nothing, man. Let me see here. So AUD is always one that it's on the list. Where's my trend line? Right here. So we got a nice little trend going about here. Right, even this one looks like it can possibly. Oh shit, maybe we will play AUD. Let's look at it long term. I forgot the forex just opened. The market opened Sunday early. Yeah, because even if this is still in this funky looking bullish channel, right? Hold on, let me see something. Out of resistance. Shit, you know what? If we get this trend break, maybe we will get this. Let's look at this next 20 minutes. Maybe I want to see a nice little break from here. Alright, I'm gonna leave this one alone. See if we get that click. If we get that nice little beep and this candle closes past that trend line, and I want to see a break past the demand zone. So then we'll maybe do a nice little short on AUD. AUD's been running though. It's your Australian US dollar. See if the other ones are at resistance as well. And this one made a nice little scoop up. See, which is crazy. Again, sometimes they work, right? Like, look, this time it worked beautifully, right? You had two nasty rejections there. You draw your supply zone, and where does it reject after it does all this move? Boom, right there, and right there, right? So, fuck, man. Sometimes it works, but for some reason, I feel like the ones I've been throwing out lately just really hasn't. So it makes me question if I should do, different strategies for these things. But again, your charting is your charting, guys, man. You still should be able to work a lot of patterns on these things. I've seen a lot of patterns work out beautifully on this. So definitely continue to study your patterns. What else we got? Euro, Swiss francs. Nice little trend down, almost flagging a bit. Nothing crazy. This one is still rejected here. So this one's still following overall uptrend. Still in the supply zone. British pound. Okay, this was one. Okay, this was one that I did play last week. Yeah, last week I got in it around here, right? It played out. I mean, it was just, oh, that's what it was. I think I did like 50x, guys, and I think 100x is good to move around. I think anything over 100x is a little risky. I think 50x, unless you're really trying to swing, would be the way to go. A scalp like this that hit, and I think I had this TP way too close too. I think there was just some strong support that I was seeing, but it broke that, right? It hit TP number 2, came back up to supply zone, right? So even if I was holding now, I'd be down, but never hit stop loss, and it still has possibility to come down. Again, I just feel like these don't work that well with what's going on in here. Like it really throws me off for some reason on forex. Then me looking at Bitcoin and looking at my indicators and really like kind of seeing what I can see, which is crazy. But I still want to attack it, man. I still want to play with these, man. Let's see, USD. Shit. Chasing that candle would be good. No, USD. Yeah, some of these been leveling off, man, throughout the week. I want to say they've been more consolidation. This was another one that I want to say that I had this line for resistance because it had like two nice little touches, and I remember getting the beep when it hit this resistance and it came down, and I slept on that. I forgot to actually play that one. But it did come down, and then look exactly where it bounced, right? It kept bouncing once, two, three times off of the demand zone. So again, man, you have some of these that really do respect supply, demand zone, support and resistance. Got some that I want to say maybe work better off of like trend, right? This one, look, this one's been in a trend, bearish channel for a while. So a nice little breakout from here from the top would be the way to go for a long. Crossing up whenever that is. No, trend line crossing up. Possible long. That's it, guys, man. Look, setting yourself up for success, man. You know, you don't have to stare at these charts all the time. I do recommend, looking at your trades when you are in it, just so you can see how the market moves different and, how your indicators work. But whenever you're setting yourself up, right, like just draw your things out, right? Draw what you see. You look at your indicators, see how they look, and wait for the trade to come to you, right? If it's still following this nice uptrend, like I said, a nice little bullish breakout from this bearish channel, it's something that I would look at, right? And as soon as it does that, it alerts me. I come back, I look at my indicators, and I decide if I want to get into it or not. Let me see, and then the last one we got is GBP, also at resistance, right? Look. You see, this one has a nice little trend going on too, right here. So this is already old. But we have this, and this is something that maybe get a nice little trend break. Then again, something I could look at for this week. But as slow as Forex is, that's why this is something I don't like to stare at for hours. Obviously, set my alerts. If we get that break coming down, and I'm looking for a nice short, I'll look at my indicators to see. But again, I gotta take a day where I can really shuffle my indicators around and see which ones work best with Forex, man. I'm really telling you guys, like the ones that I use for crypto, I don't really think that it works as well in Forex for some reason. So definitely gotta try to shuffle those around. For now, trend lines has been it, man. Like I've been able to get really good trades off of trend line breaks. A few came from resistance and support, but more trend lines than anything. So this is why you set yourself up. Once it breaks this, I come back, I look at it. If it still looks good, then I'm on. Once it closes, crossing down, possible short. All right. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it, man. Just want to go over a few things for this week, just to see how we can probably attack this week. Things are looking a lot. Look at it. Your MACD even is starting to kind of die down. Your uptrend. Um, maybe we can maybe start seeing some kind of pullback on this market. Just don't hold your breath, right? Like it's the shorts they've been profitable some, but they've just been, I want to say they've been getting more torn apart than anything. So it's hard. It's hard to catch them. But that doesn't mean that you can't catch them, right? Just keep looking at these resistance. Might be the way to go this week, right? Because again, a lot of these things are just they're flagging, man. They're flagging. They're getting real tight, and they're at that point where they just ran, man. They ran for so fucking long already. So look for some possible breakouts in some of these things. I'm gonna keep setting a few up, and if you hear me throw out a call later, it's because one of these things played out. And yeah, that's it, man. That's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go put my son to bed, get him knocked out nice and early, so I can come back and trade. So I do want to try to get into something tonight, maybe a swing for tomorrow. If we can possibly get a nice little trend break, or it might just be a scalp for tonight. Depending what the market wants to do with us. But if we can get something tonight, I think it'll probably be a short because, like I said, just a lot of these things are starting to break. All right, so that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for coming. Guys have any questions? Bam, there we go. There's one. Oh no, that's the Apex one right now, right? Yeah. Hold on. No, because it closed. That's why. Hold on. And bam, crossing down. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. All right. All right, guys, that's pretty much it, man. Again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. If not, I will see you guys this week. Tomorrow. What is it? Brian, I know wants to hop on super early. Seb wants to hop on super early, so I'll probably join you guys. Maybe skip the gym in the morning, hop on with you guys. Maybe do some trading nice and early. Wife is home. Damn, you know what? That shit might actually play out beautifully. I might get up super early with you guys and do some like nice and early fucking morning trading, which is cool, right? Because that's when the New York opens. I know a lot of you guys like to trade New York too. I kind of always stood away from it because it's so volatile, but at the same time, it's fun, you know. And I know a lot of you guys are up at that time, so maybe we'll get up nice and early tomorrow. Do some live trading in the morning. Members Monday, obviously. So whatever you guys want to go over, we will go over. We also have class on Thursday, part 2 of the indicators. If you haven't clicked on events, it's up in events. If you want to join, so you get the notification for that. It's this Thursday. What is it at 4 my time, right? Yeah, 4 p.m. my time. What else we have this week? That's pretty much it. Actually, we have something dope that LJ wants to bring to the table, man. That he actually did for us, and I can't wait to show you guys. I think it's pretty dope. So we'll throw that out this week too. And other than that, that is pretty much it, guys. It's been a great last week. We killed it, I think, right? I want to say we only had like maybe 1 or 2 losses, but we had like about 5, 6 wins. So we kind of really did pretty nice last week. We got a lot of new traders. Sharp is a good dude, man. I heard some guys complaining, some not. Um, I talked to him personally about it myself. I want to make sure that he's transparent with everything, and he's a new trader, right? So he's learning. I did the same. I wasn't always on top of everything like that at the beginning. But then I started to see that, the more transparent you are with your trades, the better. So I told him, like, dude, you're making a name for yourself. Like, start letting people know when you get stopped out. And I even wrote him for this. I was like, good job on this, right? Like, letting you guys know that he got stopped out. He was thinking about getting back in, and he did, right? Look, he took 12%. So I think he's going to be a lot more clear with his calls, and that'll help out all the confusion and frustration. And again, just like any other caller, guys, if we ever find out, he's not doing shit right or not doing, or stealing or anything like that, like we'll ban him, man. Like I don't take, we don't take traders here that people that copy others' work and shit like that, or we take that shit very seriously, man. So if he's doing his thing, then let's continue doing it. Maybe I'll get him to jump on a live with you guys one day if you guys want to, man. So you guys can actually see the man trading himself and pick his brain and things like that. So I'll talk to him about that as well. All right. So that is pretty much it, guys. Have a great week. Trade safe. I will see you guys tomorrow for some nice early morning trading. And other than that, if you guys have any questions, hit me up on the DM or any other staff, and we'll be happy to help you guys out. All right. Peace out, y'all.